Is it an Avengers Tower?
No. Tony sold that a few years ago.
Thing that Mr. Stark left behind for me, and now he's gonna kill my friends in half of Europe, so please, do not tell me to relax.
Thank you for this.
Oh, you're welcome.
So now that Captain Rogers and Iron Man are both gone, who do you think's gonna lead the Avengers?
Okay, you get it. Marvel mentions this character a lot. No, not Karun. Everybody loves Karun. But this one, Tony Stark. Iron Man, the character that started the MCU, the character that everybody can recognize as one of the most famous superheroes next to Spider-Man. Ever since his heartbreaking death and sacrifice in Avengers Endgame, it just feels like Marvel has mentioned him as a character in one way or another in every film or every TV show that they've had after his death. I don't know if it's in 100% of Marvel's post-Endgame shows and movies. I admit I could be wrong on that. It definitely is a good amount, and I'm sure you guys noticed that too. I call this Marvel's post-Tony Stark problem. I understand. This character basically defines the MCU as it was then and how it is now. This character was our gateway to the Avengers teaming up, our gateway to introducing Spider-Man into the universe, even our own gateway to the MCU as a whole. It is important, especially to the general audience watching, that we're reminded about Tony Stark. I just feel like it's been an overkill lately with the references to Tony. Personally, every time I hear a line about Tony Stark post-Endgame, I can't help but have some kind of eye roll over it. References every now and then are nice, but at this point, the MCU is a recognizable thing on its own, and we don't have to be constantly reminded about the man that started it. At this point, it feels like more of a trend than anything else. Don't get me wrong, the way they were able to tie Mysterio into Stark technology was pretty creative.
He renamed my life's work, Barf.
And yeah, Shang-Chi's connection to Iron Man 3 made complete sense since the title literally had the people who kidnapped him making him Iron Man like 20 movies prior. But for lines to be stuck in Hawkeye, Eternals, and any property like that past Endgame, it just feels so unnecessary. The Eternals one could be justifiable considering it's a new team and new names introduced to Marvel, so some part of the audience may not be aware that it even is a Marvel movie in the first place, so a reminder there could make sense. They hear the name Iron Man and go, oh yeah, this is the MCU. But for Hawkeye, sure, the reference there serves kind of as a letting you know thing, with Tony selling the original Avengers Tower, but I feel like if you're willing to have Disney Plus and watch the Hawkeye series, you're probably well aware of all the things by now, which makes the reference to me kinda unjustifiable. I get not everyone is a deep Marvel fan, and I get not everyone knows the details and connections of the whole story spanning over a decade, but in my mind, whether or not I was a big fan, Marvel is kind of a big enough name to be recognized without constant Tony Stark reminders. This could just very much be a me problem, and the references bother absolutely nobody else, but it's something I couldn't help but notice and point out.